Good morning. That's what he says too. He's already working hard. Delivery today. Unfortunately, it's Tuesday morning. It was my chiropractor day, so they dump it all right here in front of the door. And then I transfer it all into here because I wasn't here to have the shop open and make life easier. But anyways, filters for everything in that box, some Duff, chisel plow points, field cultivator points. I guess that's it. There's few things that are on back order. Oh, don't have any bolts to put the chisel plow points on with, but they're on back order. Not like we're starting anyhow. Yesterday, went and started pushing brush around her back and any down trees. Holy shit, was there a lot of down trees and tree limbs from all the wind we had last fall and during the winter. So I will be back on that again because I think I did about half, I guess, of what we work. So I gotta go do the other half. So he's just gonna lay there and, keep track of things for me. So let's go push brush back. Alright, I just wanted to show you this. This is on the home farm. That swamp right there, there's a low spot in the field right here you can see we're coming up to. And you can kind of see the outline. Let me lower the bucket. The outline here where last year the water was all the way out and I couldn't work it. This swamp is normally every spring, and I mean every spring, out into this field 30, 40 feet in this low area here. That's 30 feet back from the edge of the field. I'm driving through it right now, not even making a track. So we're definitely starting this spring off drier than normal. Now let's keep in mind it's March 23rd when I'm doing this. This week has been way above normal because we normally are, I don't know what it is, mid 40s this time of year supposed to be. Yesterday we were high 60s. Today we're supposed to be mid 60s. Tomorrow we could hit 70. Next week we're back to reality, some 40s and 50s. But I've never had a spring where I could work that. Last year I planted the beans in that field and I came back about, I don't know, 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks later, and drilled that little spot, and they grew. They weren't great, but they grew. So it's definitely a different kind of year starting out this year. And yesterday, bouncing around here on the home farm doing this, I was looking at tile outlets. They're running, but not flowing like they normally would this time of year. This is this kind of stuff we're dealing with. I've had whole trees I've had to push off, but a lot of limbs blew off. We had a lot of windstorms last fall and last winter. There's a big old poplar. So this is what we do every spring before we get into the fields, is go around and push that kind of shit off. That one, even if we had come to chisel plow, I could have easily thrown that one off, but I've had big ones that you couldn't. And I've also had, like I said, whole trees. Well, then apparently I also have, and I will leave it for now to see if they show up to take care of it, but apparently a windstorm blew a hunting blind over there in the hedgerow, and there's their chairs that were in it. A couple of guys that I let hunt. I'll leave that for now. I'm sure they'll show up. Not to mention I can call them. But here's another one. Here's a dead limb that blew off during the winter or last fall. I think that one was down during harvest, to be honest with you. But kind of a boring, mundane job, but something that has to get done. It's not like you're going to work the field with the trees out in it. And like that, it's gone. And to the next field, through the hedgerow. That one, I don't know. Maybe I should have brought down the chainsaw. That's a pretty good sized tree blown over into the headland of the field. But I guess we'll find out whether or not we're going to move it. Alright, I apologize for the nasty, dirty window. We are getting it moved. Wasn't sure if we would or not. This is along the lake. There's a bunch of camps down here. I'm sure somebody will be pissed off because I pushed a tree into the hedgerow. Oh well. How's that look? That don't look bad at all. So we got her. I know, Jeff Ramo. If it was blue, there'd be no doubt about it, but my green tractor did it. I'm gonna push this little one here off and move on to the next field. Alright, back to the farm. 2 days of pushing brush back, tree limbs, whole trees. I had one down here on the home farm on the other road that I didn't film. I should have. That was a biggin. That took a little pushing. But I showed you earlier now everything's empty because I got everything in here. Got my diesel fuel conditioner because I do not, this low sulfur fuel, no, I put some conditioner in it. Now I am not a paid spokesperson for this stuff, BioBor JF, but I put this in every time I fill my big fuel tank. I put one of these in and one of those because this stuff works great on bacteria and any kind of algae shit like that you might get into your fuel. I've been using that for years. I know Chris there at DeHaven Family Farms, you showed something you were using, and I told you in the comments on your video that I used this stuff. I've tried other stuff, but because we had a fuel issue here, I don't know how many years ago, but when we started using that stuff, it cleaned it up. So now I am going to, I think, the big tractor, the 8295R that I just bought, believe it or not, they sent that with a full tank of fuel and a full tank of Duff. Yeah. Getting hard to get car dealerships to even fill your gas tank when you buy a vehicle. But the 7230 and the 6420, I think one of them was about empty. So I'm going to go over to the fuel tank, fill those up. I know my fuel tank's getting low. That way I can order fuel and get at least one tank of fuel in before we start spring work at a, we'll call it, lower price, because as we know, with Sleepy Sniffy Joe as our president now, and good old Kamala coming, because that 25th Amendment's coming. When the guy can't even get up the stairs to get on the plane, they'll say he's unfit, and she'll be our first African American president that has Indian and Jamaican descent. Not sure where Africa comes out of that, but whatever. So when I do get the fuel, I have no idea what off-road, farm fuel is right now, but I guess we'll find out here in the next day or two whenever they deliver it. So anyways, short video, good enough. Next thing will be service and shit, oil changes, filters, all that fun stuff. Yay! So everybody start saving your money, because, you know, 86 million of it, taxpayer money, is going to house those thousands of a day. I think we're up to like 3,000 a day now, they say, that's crossing the border illegally. Yep, gotta spend 86 million to put them in hotel rooms. Even though we got a homeless, you know, situation in this country to start with, especially homeless veterans that get shit on a regular basis. It's crazy. But anyways, thumbs up, all that happy horse shit, and we'll see you in the next one.